Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Dr. Lee from Bukit Mertajam. So as you can see from the board behind me, for this session, I'm going to discuss further, give you tips and give you ways and techniques of doing the UASA for SJKC, SJKT and SK. Bahasa Melayu. So if you have been watching my videos, the first video, the previous videos actually was about the format of the Bahasa Melayu for years 4, 5 and 6, this UASA paper. And I had at that time gave you the format of the exam, every part of the exam and what to expect. So now I'm going to discuss with you and tell you how to handle every part of the paper. So for this time, it will be bahagian A or part A of the Bahasa Melayu paper, which is the objective part of the paper. Now, this objective part has 10 questions. And for these 10 questions, the candidates or you are suggested, it is suggested that you use not more than 20 minutes to complete these 10 questions. That means to say, every question you spend not more than 2 minutes to answer the questions. Now, it is very good if you can train yourself, okay? I believe that every exam hall, and I believe you can wear a watch as well, and I believe that every exam hall has got a clock. Now train yourself. Don't wait until you are 16, 17 years old going for SPM. Then you start to learn this. You should learn this when you are as young as possible. So year 4, 5 and 6 is the right time. Train yourself. Alright, train your own self. Look at the clock. Look at the time that is suggested. If they suggest 20 minutes, then it's 20 minutes. Okay? Finish before that or on the dot. Do not go more. Don't go beyond 20 minutes. Because you may discover that by the time you go to the other parts like bahagian C and D, you may find that because you spend too much time on bahagian A, you don't have the time to complete the whole paper, and that is the time you will unfortunately not pass. So it's very important. Train yourself. Every section, there is a time that is suggested. Even if the time is not suggested, I'm telling you now, not more than 20 minutes. I believe it's written there. Masa yang dicadangkan, that means time that is suggested. So train yourself from now, from today. Whether it is a class test or just a school, a normal test or an exam, always train yourself to look at the time. Don't go beyond the time. Now let us say 20 minutes is given. A student is unable to finish. What happens? Maybe you have done 8. There are 2 more to go, but time's up. I mean, this 20 minutes is up. Don't worry. Go ahead and do B. Leave these 2 questions first. Go to B, go to C and the rest. And then the leftover time, come back to your bahagian A and complete the last 2. Okay? So this is what I want to tell you. You know that bahagian A is objective A, B, C, D. And bahagian A is tata bahasa or grammar and pemahaman, which is comprehension. Now, for tata bahasa, if you can see, I have written 20. What does it mean? 20 means to say there are 20 types of grammar or tata bahasa that years 4, 5, and 6 must know. Must know. For example, kata nama kata nama khas, common nouns and proper nouns. Kata ganti nama, which is pronouns. And then kata sendi nama, prepositions. Kata kerja, you have to know, which actually means verbs. And on top of that, you need to know kata hubung, like conjunctions. You need to know imbuhan, which is so important. What is the difference between pengajar and pengajaran, or even ajaran? What is the difference between menaiki and menaikkan? Menghadiahi and menghadiahkan? Or imbuhan imbuhan di? You have to know. Not only know, but important to know the functions. Like imbuhan Why do I use the word For example, terjatuh. Because one of the functions of using is because you did not do it purposely. Okay? One of the functions. So it's important when you learn imbuhan, know the function. What is it used for? Like imbuhan per is used for. Imbuhan ke an is used for. You have to know. Okay? So once you know, then you start applying in your written work or in tests where you have to fill in the blanks. Another one would be kata ganda. That means a double. Kata ganda sometimes is because a lot. So we ganda it like many hills, bukit bukau. Or a lot of people passing by, lalu lalang, all these, gunung ganang, all these, what do you call, kata ganda, double. Ganda means 2 times. And that is because it can show a variety of or many. Okay? Now, you also have to know, I think every language in this world, whether it is the Chinese language, whether it is English, Bahasa Melayu, or even the Tamil language, there is one part of grammar which all of us must know, that what we call in Bahasa Melayu, kata banyak makna. One word has many meanings. Let us say bentuk. Bentuk means shape, like triangle, circle, rectangle. But bentuk has another meaning, like sebentuk cincin, one ring. So the penjodoh bilangan for ring is sebentuk cincin. So bentuk has 2 meanings, it means. Alright? And you have to know, like kata majmuk, kata bilangan, all these words. And kata banyak makna, which I mentioned just now. Jenis ayat you have to know. You have to identify whether it is ayat penyata, simple sentence, or ayat majmuk. You have to know ayat complex. Okay? And not only that, you also have to know synonym and antonym is part of grammar. Synonym is same meaning. Antonym is opposite words of the opposite meaning. You have to know. And on top of that, it is very important for Bahasa Melayu especially. Of course, all languages, you have to know simpulan bahasa. Okay? And that's called idioms in English. And peribahasa, proverbs. Especially Bahasa Melayu. Because the Bahasa Melayu focuses a lot on the beauty of the language. Of course, English is the same. I believe the Chinese language and the Tamil language, we also focus on this area. Okay? We call it Bahasa Kiasan, decorative language. And then for ayat-ayat, not only you need to know jenis ayat, like ayat penyata, ayat majmuk, ayat complex, you also have to know, for example, what you call cakap ajuk dan cakap pindah. Cakap ajuk is, we call it direct speech. I'm doing the talking, open and close inverted commas, buka dan tutup kata, and another person hears me or heard me talking or speaking one sentence, that person uses my sentence and reports it to another person. And that is called indirect speech or cakap pindah. Okay, so you will say that Cikgu Li berkata bahawa dia akan pergi ke Kuala Lumpur. But when I say it myself, I will say saya akan pergi ke Kuala Lumpur, and then I open and close inverted commas. Okay. So another one will be ayat aktif, ayat pasif, or ayat aktif dan ayat pasif. English word active and passive voice. Okay. Amin membeli buku. Buku dibeli oleh Amin. So Amin membeli buku is the active voice, or what we call ayat aktif. And then buku dibeli oleh Amin, that will be the ayat passive, or English we call it the passive voice when we use di and oleh. And lastly, not lastly, actually one more, how to form questions. So during the exam, you will give, or on the test paper, you see it is a sentence, and they ask you to change this sentence to a question using apakah, siapakah, bagaimanakah. Or they give you a question, you have to give the answer. And one other item that is very important in English, in Bahasa Melayu, and I think in all languages is tanda bacaan, or what you call punctuation. Comma, full stop, exclamation mark, capital letters, small letters, all this comes under tanda bacaan. So for students or pupils of year 4, 5, and 6, you have to know all that I mentioned just now, 20 minimum. You have to know all. And you bring this knowledge with you when you go to secondary school, because you will continue to learn, but more difficult and more challenging, and we add a bit more here and there. Okay? So you have to know that there are a minimum of 20, and remember that for Tata Bahasa, kosakata is included. Kosakata means vocabulary. Okay, words of difficult words, where they give you a sentence, and then they want you to fill in the blanks. Of course, you choose the answers, but you need to know. Kosakata means you need to know the meaning of the words, because it comes under vocabulary. But it comes out in your Tata Bahasa paper as well, usually the first and second question. Okay, so you need to know as many words as possible. You need to know the meaning so that you can identify and choose the correct answer. And for pemahaman, which is the comprehension part, I want to tell you 3 things to do. Firstly, kata kunci. Look for the keyword. I'm telling you how to find the answer. Now, the real word pemahaman means comprehension. Comprehension means understanding. So I would like to tell all of you students, year 4, year 5, and year 6, train yourself not to do this. Look for the answer. Many students, when they come to comprehension, they look at the question and then they find the answer. They see the question has these 3 or 4 words, or 2 or 3 words, then they can identify these 3 or 4 words, and this is the answer. Yes, you can find the answer. But it will not help you when you go up to secondary school, or SPM, or STPM. It really won't help you to do that. That is called to skim and scan, like scan something. I would advise you, because given extra time, normally 20 minutes is extra time is given. I would like you to train yourself. Of course, you can skim and scan, just scan down. Even scan. Scan is a hospital word. It's a medical term. If you have to scan any part of your body, they don't just like that. They will really go into detail. If it is the head, it's from the hair down to the neck. They go down very detailed. So do not misunderstand this word. Scan means look for the answer. Then why do they use the word pemahaman? Why don't they use the word pencarian? Why do they use the word comprehension? Why don't they use the word search the answer? Because you are not supposed to do that for your future. Okay? You have to learn to read between the lines. As you go higher, you will discover that that technique won't help you in secondary school and upper secondary school and even university. Okay? So train yourself. Every line, run through, read. Every word, read. After that, identify. So when you want to do the questions, first you look for the kata kunci. Kata kunci means the key word. So the key word for comprehension will be apakah, siapakah, mengapakah, bagaimanakah, berapakah. So for example, the question is siapakah. That is the key word. It will be very easy for you because when you identify the answer, you see the keyword is siapakah. You know that siapakah is for people. So if A gives an animal, you just know that that is not the answer. And then you look for the answer which has people in it. Then you identify from the passage which you read or you have read. Okay? Some of you may have read all and already know the answer. So you'll be very simple. But remember to look at the kata kunci. What I call the keyword, siapakah, berapakah. If you see berapakah, you know the answer is number. How many? See? After that, singkirkan, pastikan. What's the meaning of singkirkan? Singkirkan means don't want. Throw it away. Chase it away. That's called singkirkan. Push it to one side. That's called singkirkan. And then pastikan. Pastikan means you ensure, you make sure the answer. So how do you do it? So it's the same. It's connected, you know. If the question is, like I mentioned just now, the question is siapakah? Who? You know that is a person. So if A writes an animal, example, kambing, you don't even have to consider just pangkah, put a cross or just cut it off. That's called singkirkan, get rid of it, it means. Put it away. B maybe mentions 11. You know that 11 will come under the question berapa. So that is not the answer. Again, put a cross or just cut it off. And then look at C. C maybe is anak kepada Encik Karim. And then A could be the answer, you know, because the question is siapakah. But then D is seorang penyanyi. Oh, so there are two people. The question is siapakah. Then just now you read the passage, you know what the passage is about. So the passage could be about a singer whose life was whatever. So you already know the answer is seorang penyanyi. So just go up there and have a look one more time and then kepastian means make sure that that is the answer. And then semak semula. Now we have a lot of students, especially primary school students, who do this, you know. Once they get the exam paper, without stopping, they have their pencil or their pen and they start writing page by page. So finish the whole paper. There's still half an hour. There's still 40 minutes. And then the question is, the invigilators or the teacher say, cannot go out. Many times it happens, primary school. Because when they go out, they may run here, run there, you know, they may fall down, they may hurt themselves, and then there's no one to look after them. After all, they are primary school students. So most of the time, the teachers will say, if you finish, you just wait until it's time. So what do? They draw, you know, if the paper can, you know, if the paper is the one that they can take home, then they might draw something, draw Ultraman, draw Superman, or they may lie down on the table and sleep. So I want you as students Look at the seriousness of an exam. Okay? If they give you 1 hour, 1 hour 15 minutes, use up the time. If I were a candidate, exam candidate, I will use up every minute that is given. I will not surrender or give the paper until the invigilators or the teacher says stop writing. Truly. So I want you to train yourself. Alright? Use every second given, because once you go out, or once you decide to start drawing whatever you want, Superman, Ultraman, or once you have decided to lie down and sleep and just submit the paper because you have to submit, you may discover that, or you may run outside, or some examination centers do allow students to go out. Well, if you have finished, give me your exam paper and go out. And then you may discover that you go out, and then you, of course, naturally you will discuss the questions with your friend. Hey, just now that one, what answer, whatever. And then your name is, I got the other answer. No, the answer is this. Then you start regretting. Why? Because you did not semak semula. So it's very important. Semak semula means check one more time. Whether you miss, you did not answer, whether you answer correctly, because you have extra time. So I will tell you this. If your paper is a 20-minute part, but you finish in 12 minutes or 11 minutes, you have 9 more minutes. Number 1, you can use the 9 minutes to check one more time, number 1 to number 10. Number 2, go on to section B, section C, section D, section E. And then the extra time, maybe half an hour, maybe 20 minutes, go back from the first part, first question, just run through. See whether you did every question, see whether you answered correctly, and see whether you have done whatever that is needed to do. You have to train yourself. No one can help you. Alright? I want you, starting from year 4, starting from primary school, to train yourself. Check your answers. Do not waste the precious time, the extra time to draw cartoons, to write something, scribble, run outside, lie on the table and sleep. Okay? Just check your answers and wait until the last minute that is given. Make sure everything is in order before you submit, you give your test paper to the invigilators. This is what I want you to do. That is the real exam candidate. A real exam candidate will do that. Alright? And one other thing, you will see in your test paper for bahagian pemahaman, bahan 1, bahan 2. Meaning to say there are 2 articles, but they are related. Okay? Bahan means material, so material 1, material 2. They are interrelated. Take for example, Encik Kumar or Encik Lee or Encik Mahmud, let us say he got a raise, he got a salary raise. He has been promoted. So seeing that, he has extra money now, salary increase, he looks at his house and decides that maybe he wants to change the door, because the front door is made of wood and it has been used for many years, and it's rotten in some areas, rotting in some areas, or the screws have come loose. So Encik Kumar or Encik Lee, or Encik Mahmud decides to change the glass door. So he discusses with his family, and he suggests that they change it to a glass door, and the family is very happy, everybody agrees. Bahan 2 or material 2 will talk about, example, the importance or the benefits of having a glass door. That means the theme is the same, glass door. So maybe they will write the benefits of a glass door. Okay, so 1 and 2 are related. And then the questions will come based on this. Memahami, mengaplikasi, menganalisa. So there will be one question on understanding, memahami. So one question from the bahan 1 or bahan 2 asking you a question which you can directly answer because it's understanding. And then there's one question on mengaplikasikan, mengaplikasi, or what you call application. Application means to say, mengaplikasi means to say, when you read something, when you read the questions, you know how to apply it to the text. Okay, text 1, text 2. Or what you read in text 1 and text 2, you can apply it to the question. So the question will ask you maybe, out of the 4 ABCD, which is the correct statement? Or which all are correct except. So this application, what you learn, you apply your understanding and search for the answer. So the third one is menganalisa. So menganalisa usually is they ask you from 1 and 2. They ask you, analisa means to analyze. It means to think and to think deeply, okay, and then understand it and then answer the question. Same style, okay. Below ada isi-isi yang benar kecuali, or keterangan yang benar, correct one, choose one correct one, or all are correct except, okay, or choose the one that is not correct. So this is called, you have to analyze the question and then search for the answer and then decide which statement clearly defines the first and the second material or second text. Okay, and there is one question like memahami, maybe they ask you the tujuan or mengapa or sebab or maybe siapa. So that's about all. Okay, and there's one question which although it is pemahaman, there is one question whereby it is actually tata bahasa. So for example, they say that in text 1, bahan 1 and bahan 2, there is one sentence, or maybe they just take from bahan 1, they take a sentence, and the sentence says, like just now I mentioned, glass door, pintu kaca, and then they ask you, what is the penjodoh bilangan that is suitable for this pintu kaca? So they underline pintu kaca. So number 1, and then they give A, ekor, B, batang, C, biji, and then D, buah. Of course, the answer is buah, sebuah pintu. Okay, so although it is pemahaman, they do give tata bahasa questions as well, but based on the text. Okay, so that's all. Do give me, do subscribe to me, to my channel, and when you receive notification, just watch and learn. Okay, I will be very happy to share with you whatever I know. And my next video will be bahagian B, how to answer, what to expect, and what you should do. Okay, so goodbye for now.